man all day long. He won't do it because he's afraid. If it's some little welfare fraud or something, he'll coon the white man or something like that, right? But he won't go for the big stuff. He won't do it. He's afraid. Or he don't realize that he can do it. All the Negro got to do is go after this cracker, and he'll slap the urine out of him. Everything, that's the old generations. I don't know about the young generations, if they have that built-in. You know, oppression builds up a certain type of tolerance and psychological resistance. The white man says that certain groups of people have a natural resistance, like earlier African American children, because they face stuff all the time. So they don't even know why they're resilient. They just bounce back. The ones that do bounce back, they just bounce back. They just become why? Because the white kids face one challenge, 3 challenges, and he collapsed. The Negro faced 50 challenges without him even, they're just there. He takes oppression as normal. When we grew up, lynchings and burnings and hangings was natural. We didn't get really, we was upset about it, but we didn't really start doing anything about it till way later when we get grown. Till somebody come and tell you, you know that's wrong for them to hang you. And you say, that's right, the white man hanging us and doing all that, that's wrong. We want a rebellion, right? But otherwise, it's just normal. We talked about it all day, every day. It was normal. So we share case study after case study on psychological guerrilla warfare. This is not bragging. We are protected and elevated psychological guerrilla warfare. And the other thing is, when minorities look at us, they are amazed. First of all, this stuff is so big, they don't believe it. Wait a minute. You have a program called How to Punk the FBI, and you go down to the FBI building and pass out that flyer, and nothing happens to you. To them, they said, we don't believe it. We don't believe it. And then my gangster friends, they don't believe it either, because they always trying to avoid the FBI. Because they doing crime, and the FBI trying to put them in jail. So when I tell them, man, y'all ought to get into this Islam and help me do this. I say, man, I ain't got no time for that white man. These are tough Negroes, but they respect the white man. Hey, man, I just spent all my life trying to avoid the FBI, and you going out looking for it. You on the trail. They don't understand it. So that's what we're dealing with. Learn how Masjid al-Islam has exposed the whole Zionist American network in the public sphere. Never has so few done so much for so many without visible support. This stuff right here, all those articles that we showed from time to time on Crescent, some in Turkish newspapers, on Voice of the Cape in South Africa and all of that, that stuff is real. So we've shown people that you can do it. And not only do it, but do it with charisma and happy. Not all nervous and paranoid, you know what I mean? Oh Lord, this white man gonna do this. And doing it in such a way that you expose him to literally one whipping after another. And you expose his tactics. Like I said the other day, that I don't believe my grandson was killed. He may have been. But I know by the way it come to me, number one, my son keeps trying to tell me, no, that wasn't the day it happened. And I'm looking at it, I said, no, I know when I did this. And then who's involved? The Arab brother on 98th Avenue got the car shop 98th and D Street. His life turned up. He came to our Masjid in 1990. He came before his whole family would come. But when he got a case, a dope dealing case or something with the Negroes and maybe he's the same age as my older son. So they all hang out, they all went to school together. This is an Arab, Palestinian. And that till he got the Holy Ghost, you would have thought he was an Arab Negro, the way he talked and everything. And then he got that case and he grew a long beard. He came straight to our masjid. Of course, I know he got a case because I know everybody in the neighborhood. So what do I think? I said, welcome. I know you're the police, you ain't going to jail and you ain't been to jail and you got that case, so you're here to do what? I didn't tell him this, but I told him later, you're to spy on us. And that's what he did. So when my grandson died, or supposedly died, his mother, who is the most notorious snitch in Oakland, and the Arab brother get together and they say, we're going to bury it. They're supposed to have the janazah in our masjid in Oakland. But I'm telling them, tell me what day you're going to have it. Are you going to have it that day so I can get out there? I'm going to catch a plane. They just zoop and had it. And I was too late. Because if I would have went there, I would have took some smelling sauce or something and I'd have put it right on my grandson's nose. See if he's going to sneeze or stick him with a pen. Because I just don't believe it. You don't see me saying, just like my son is sitting there with all them bullet holes in him. I think it's like they did in Iran. They took some of the big ulama that they wanted to be heroes. They tortured all of the guys. So they take him in the room and scratch his body all up, make it look like he'd been tortured. And he come back all bandaged up. He's just been scratched all up, and they put nice bandages on him. And he goes back in with everybody. Oh man, they really messed the brother up. But he's a future big police, because he's been tortured worse than anybody. And they just scratched him all up and make him look bad, but gave him the best medical care, right? Yeah. And he ain't hurt at all. My son's supposed to be shot 6 times in close range, and none of those bullets hit no bone, hit no nothing. Nothing. No semi-permanent damage at all. Supposed to be slashed 3 times with an army knife, the ones with the ridges. And I asked the doctor, I said, now there's no yellow tape at the house. I don't think it's, at that time, maybe they put up a fake one since then. There's no report collecting of clothes or nothing by the ambulance drivers. There's no yellow tape for the police. There's hardly no police report. They don't come to question him. One police came and asked, you want to give a statement? And that's when they loaded him up with dope when he came to talk. They never come back. I asked the doctor, well, kind of heavy set, tired lady. Well, they come and pick up the bullets for ballistics. No. Basically, we just threw them away. That's illegal. If they have a shooting, if you're in the hospital, they take those bullets go into evidence.
There's like a whole process. When someone
There's a process, you got to do it. They didn't do none of that. So, I think, now, with relatives and all that, they have done good. But if they hold up 10 or 15 years, they've done well. They are not me. So if they go over to the other side, it's because they've harassed them and arrested them on and on and on and on. And finally, they break down because they're not practicing those, they don't have no vision of no great Islamic society. They just want to live. And they know, and the police tell them, we'll give you a little something on the side. And you know your dad is a tough nigga now, you got to help us. I can see it when we see the detectives. I can see if we walk through the police station. I can see it and I can smell it. And I tell them, I said, I know what's happening. And just, and they hit, I said, you go and you cooperate with them. Ain't no sense of rotting into the penitentiary. You can't tell nobody nothing about it. I'm already surrounded by the police. You can't tell the police nothing. 24/7, the lights is bugged, the floor is bugged, the car is bugged, and there's snitches everywhere. And I'm still here, happy as a lark. Number one, we done screwed up their mind. They ain't screwed up our mind. We have used counter psychological manipulation. We have to. When you're in a rebellion, you have to study what do we call it, the environmental circumstances. You have to study, they used to call it the battlefield. You have to study the battle space. Where is everything? Who is everybody? Where are they at? Why are they there? Where do they want to go? What do they want to do? Right? So you have to do that. Then you have to forecast, what do we have? We have a lot. They got all the other material stuff. All we got is a lot and audacity. Audacious. You willing to give it a try. And years of training. You know, the European, he will train you by making you the target. If he make you a target, you've been a target for 50 years. No, everybody, you're a meal ticket for everybody. No matter what trouble somebody get in, they can go to the government and say, boss man, Imam Musa is my cousin, and I want to, I help you if y'all kind of keep me out of jail, give me a little spending money. So anybody can do that. They can get in, they'll come right in the door, and I hang out. They'll hang out, and I'll say, good luck. What can I help you with? I want the guy to get his meal ticket. I'm a meal ticket for hundreds of people. That's great. A lot of people wouldn't like it. But guess what? When you're a meal ticket for hundreds, maybe even thousands of people, for decades, that's wonderful. Nobody else would like that job, but that's because they wasn't raised for it. This cracker will raise you for a job. We'll move toward a close in a minute. Psychological guerrilla warfare is what we have already practiced. And we say, the more victories Masjid al-Islam attains against American Zionist institution, the angrier its former administrators become. Why? In other words, the Negroes. The more successful we are, every success we have, they go ballistic. You can remember, think about it. We win the case in court, they come out, you're a pedophile, you're this, anything, right?
Yeah, they were wilding out that evening.
They just go crazy, right? So, Hassad, jealousy is killing, it's random crazy. And guess what? The whole world knows who they are. Here's what they thought. The government and them thought, since I'm the target, all history has shown, the government always wins. Nobody stands against the government and wins. So we call it win. We don't call it win. We gave talks on delay and on longevity. Longevity is beautiful. Remember King enters to the mountaintop speech? I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you. Then at the end he says, longevity has its place. Everybody wants to live a long life. Longevity has its place. In King's and Malcolm's situation, longevity was not the rule. For us, longevity is the rule. And I believe we're just getting started. I believe maybe I have another 30 years left, easy. If I don't, I'll die happy, thinking that I got 30 years and all of a sudden I'll be dead. I said, man, I'd enough to died at 80 years old, and I thought I was going to make it to 100 and something. You think I'll be sad? Of course not. It's 73 years. You got to remember, psychological stimulation. There's sections in here on homelessness. There's sections on depression. How they make people depressed and homeless. They run people crazy. That's a bully government. Why would a government want to make people homeless and run them crazy? That's insanity. They're insane. That's why, let me explain something. If what we believe is true, and if they are who we believe they are, everything they do reinforces it, forces it. If they mess with my family, I'm not going. Most people say, I'm going to leave because they get quiet because it's a family. They ain't getting that money. You didn't already mess with the family, homeboy. No. It's not you're going to pay for that, but in a way, what it means is you're a bully. You pick on them. Here I am, sucker. So whatever we're doing, it must be pretty big time for you to have all your employees lined up and get nowhere fast, right? If any of the stuff that's happening is true, then we're causing a lot of harm to the system for the attention that they're paying to us. Or else they wouldn't be paying attention to us, right?